On the first instance, I just want to take this opportunity, the first chance I've had, to wish the Minister well, sincerely wish her well in her role, very, very important role, and to congratulate her on her appointment. And to also say that September usually is a very, very busy time in schools, usually extraordinarily busy, and this September has been a huge exception. And to thank and recognise the work that schools and teachers and principals and staff and indeed the officials in the department have carried out in order to ensure that the schools opened. I did contact some schools in my own area in the last day or two and today, and the reports I'm getting back are generally very positive, which is a good sign. Let's hope it continues like that. Everyone has been working extremely hard to make it happen. A few issues have arisen, and I know that the Minister has been conscious of the needs of vulnerable teachers and vulnerable medically vulnerable students. There are also, there's another issue whereby there might be a vulnerable family member at home, and there are concerns that, in some instances, teenagers in particular coming into a home where there's somebody who is medically challenged is causing concern. And I just want to know if the Minister has actually addressed that and whether or not there are mechanisms in place to maybe allow that student to work from home, maybe to use webcam facilities to be virtually present in the classroom, which might be a suggestion. But a number of families have been in contact with me and they're worried about that. Colleagues here have already mentioned the issue with respect to school transport, and it is a big concern. The concessionary ticket comes up again and again. Last year it was a huge concern, and thankfully extra funding was found to make it go away, and a relatively small amount of money did solve the problem. But if we put ourselves in the situation of a parent who, for maybe 3 or 4 years, has had a child going to a school under the concessionary ticket regime, and at the very last minute they're told, sorry, there's no ticket for you this year. And what do you do? If both parents are working, how is that family going to cope? So it's a huge, huge challenge. And the other issue that arises is in one instance that I came across whereby a family had paid, I think, €170 for the ticket for the year, but the actual cost was €175. They made a mistake. And when they were told they weren't getting a ticket, they were told the portal is now closed, tough luck, you get no ticket at all. That kind of inflexibility shouldn't really happen. So I think I would ask the Minister to look at this issue of school transport, concessionary tickets. There are some instances now the Minister is aware of, my area, Middleton and Carrigtwohill, which are very close. And if both of those towns were seen as one particular education centre for school transport purposes, it would solve a lot of problems in that area. So maybe that's something she might take on board. School books and the weight of school books is something that's come up again and again. And I understand that lockers now are no longer being used and because of space requirements in schools. And the weight of school bags is a concern. So we need to see if we can have virtual copies of books, and if the Minister could make available some funding to students who need to buy extra laptops and tablets and so on, it might actually cut down, because there has been over the years here, we have had debates about the weight of school bags and the damage it can cause to young children and backs and so on, and I know physios and others have been aware of that. Also, there has been again some concern about the availability of sanitisers and other equipment in schools, and to ensure, and I heard what the Minister said earlier on, that would happen and that funding has been made available to make sure that does happen, which is hugely important. I heard other colleagues talking about career guidance counselling, and I have some experience with that myself, but I would suggest that a guidance counsellor in the school can solve every problem, and that every teacher really can become the significant adult in the child's life. And children can be worried and concerned at this time, and it would be very, very important that they would have a listening ear. And I know that professional teachers will actually make themselves available for that, and the guidance counsellor acts as a backup and a support in those instances as well. So with that, I want to thank the Minister for what she's done, her officials in her department and the teachers and staffs across the country so far, and let's hope that it continues in a very positive way.